What's going on, everybody? This is Brian Mazik, aka Unique Mazik. I am the hardest working man in sports and gaming, and I'm coming to you here on Operation Sports, and I am talking NBA 2K22. And so we've certainly heard a little bit about what's going to be in NBA 2K22, more of an overview of the modes, if you will. And we saw 3 screenshots, which of course you're seeing on the screen right now. But based off of what I've heard, what I've learned, and just being around this franchise since the beginning and covering it as a journalist for over a decade, I can pretty much tell you 8 things that you should not be expecting to be in NBA 2K22. Let's go to number 1. First, there will more than likely not be a salary cap mode in my team. Now, I'm going to tell you right now, if I am wrong about any of these 8 things, I want you to feel free to tell me in the comment section once the news comes out that proves me wrong. Because guess what, you musty little trolls, I want to be wrong about some of this because almost every single thing in here I wish was in 2K22, but common sense is telling me it won't be. So look, you musty little fellows and girls, you go ahead and put it in the comment section and say, aha, you were wrong. We'll laugh together. But my team salary cap mode, here's why I'm telling you it more than likely is not going to be in there. If a mode or a feature that big was coming to my team, it probably would have been a part of the overview announcement originally. And as you know, if you don't know, the salary cap, or the my team draft, I should say, is going to be a part of my team this year. So they announced that. So just think about it. What are the chances that salary cap is something that they held out telling? What I'm expecting more from the deep dives, because there will be deep dives coming for each one of these modes. And I'm quite sure there's going to be more to it and things about each mode that we didn't learn. But salary cap mode seems to be a pretty big one. Again, I hope I'm wrong, but I strongly doubt I am. I don't think the salary cap mode will be in my team. Again, let's just hope I'm wrong. Number 2, fewer microtransactions. I know a bunch of y'all are hoping that 2K22 has fewer microtransactions. Don't bet on it, player. I'm gonna tell you just like this. People can say what they want. They can get mad at me when I say this. But when you sit down to play 2K22, when you sit down to play most games that have any level of microtransactions in it, you have to make a decision. How am I going to play this game? Am I going to play it as a person who says, you know what, I'm going to be strictly offline. I'm not going to worry about any of the stuff that has to do with VC or whatever the, electronic currency is in the game? Am I going to be a little bit of both where I play online and offline, but I'm going to be a no money spent person, which means I'm going to have to grind more? Or am I going to be a person that's going to buy into this whole thing, not going to connect it to traditional gaming concepts where back in the day we used to pay $59.99 and that was it and you got everything? Game, it's not like that anymore. And I know a lot of us are being dragged kicking and screaming into the new era, but that's just what it is. So you already know you have to make this decision. Gaming companies know you have to make this decision, and I do think there's a responsibility for them to create a pretty decent path for each one of those different types of customers. But one of those paths is not going to be fewer microtransactions for 2K. The company overall has prospered and made too much money off of microtransactions. The whales out there who are paying hand over fist for my team, paying hand over fist to improve their my players, all of this different stuff, that's not going to stop. There's no sign of it stopping. There's fewer people complaining about it than there are people paying into it. So they're going to go with the majority and they're going to go with the money. Don't bank on fewer microtransactions. Number 3, we're going to talk about ProAm, commissioner tools. This is something that I really, truly wish was in ProAm. As a person who is the NBA 2K League insider, I watch the league. I pay attention to the league. I cover the league. And one of the things that I really realized, people like United ProAm and the other ProAm leagues out there, what they could really use is a tool within the game that allows them to set up their own leagues thereby creating a more direct feeder system for 2K League. A lot of people say, why won't they even help out their own league? Well, that's because we don't understand the dynamics of it. It's not 2K's league. It's a joint venture owned mostly by the NBA, right? So there's not as much cohesion there as people think just because it's called the NBA 2K League. So again, just like the salary cap mode with my team, if something that big was in there, I would believe, or I would think they would have hinted at it in some sort of way. There was no reference to it at all. Again, please be wrong, Brian. Please be wrong on that one, but I don't think that I am. Number 4, do not expect to see an elaborate cinematic story mode in my career. Now, if there's anything on this list that I hope I'm right about, it's this. I don't need another long drawn out story with a character with a bunch of cinema screens. I've said this on my own channel. You should subscribe to those channels. Mazik Speaks 2K, Mazik Speaks Madden, and Unique Mazik. Put the link to them in the description. But anyway, I've talked about this on my own channel. Check this out. I am totally all for the whole story mode concept as a separate mode, similar to the Journey Champion mode in Fight Night Champion. Come on, who remembers that? Come on with it. It's still to this day, in my opinion, the best story mode ever in a sports game. I remember those modes. Those were separate modes, just totally different from career mode or franchise mode or whatever, right? I think there should be a VC prize attached to that for going through it, and maybe some certain specific unlockables, but it has a definitive beginning and end, and it is not attached to your overall grind to make your my player better. So if that is the way that a story mode is coming, then that would be great. But we pretty much know that's not going to happen, because if it was, that definitely would have been a part of the initial rollout. What we do know is that they're talking about more of an RPG style, just different routes that you can take with your career. You can be a rapper, you can be all these different types of things through NPCs and all of that. But the whole time with the cinematics and shooting a whole separate movie with people being, in mocaps with dots on their face, that ain't gonna happen. Don't look for that. No dots on nobody's faces. I don't think we're gonna see it. And I personally, like I said, am not gonna miss that. Number 5, cross-platform play. Look, in my opinion, I feel like Madden and 2K should have already taken this step to cross-platform play. MLB The Show has spanked both of their booties by getting there with MLB The Show 21. So now, in my opinion, they're behind. So is FIFA. All of these game series, these sports video game franchises that are not or have not adopted cross-platform play, to me at this point are now a little bit behind. But I will say this: I believe that next year's versions of all of the sports games will be the ones that adopt cross-platform play. Again, this is another one of those major features that if it was a part of the game, I think it would have been a part of the initial preview. Hope I'm wrong. I'm gonna say I hope I'm wrong probably 25 times in this video. Y'all just bear with me. So that's just that. All right, let's go to the next one. Number 6, cross-generational play. That is not the same as cross-platform play. Cross-generational play means, can PlayStation 5 people play against PlayStation 4? Can PlayStation 1 X people play against PlayStation Series X and Series S people? The answer is still no. You ain't gonna be able to do it. I'm trying to tell you ain't gonna be able to do it. And I'm gonna tell you even just so definitively why you ain't gonna be able to do it. The entire grind and everything, the environment everything is different. On current gen or last gen, whatever type of gen you want to, call it. But their whole environment is on a cruise ship. The next gen environment is the city 2.0. Everything's different. The whole setup, all of the joint is different. They're not going to be able to play against each other. I strongly doubt that'll happen. I'm almost 100% positive that you will not see cross-generational play again. I'm going to say it again. I hope I'm wrong. So we'll see. Number 7, we're almost to the end, guys. Drastic player model upgrades. Now we almost pretty much got this whole thing already just exposed. We've only seen like head and shoulders versions of the new Dirk Nowitzki render, the new Luka Doncic render, and that Candace Parker render, which I don't know why they chose that picture. It doesn't even look better than last year's version of Candace Parker, so I don't know what was the deal with that. Only thing they got was they picked up like freckles a little bit more, but okay. Anyway, to redo the player models, that would be a really significant, quite significant change and upgrade. And I happen to know that this was one of the shortest development cycles that 2K has ever had to deal with, because they were the only ones who actually tried to make an actual next gen game for last year's, during last year's whole cycle. Nobody else really tried. And because they did that, it shortened their development cycle coming up for 2K22. So if you think about all of that, would they have time to do all new player models? Probably not. And I would have thought that you would have heard something about new enhanced body types, new enhanced people, longer arms, wider shoulders. We didn't get none of that. You know what I'm saying? So I'm of the strong belief that you will not be seeing drastically upgraded player models in NBA 2K22. Last one. I got a question about this on Twitter. Will they scan all the rookies? How about no? How about no? Look, the game comes out on September 10th. This year, because of the pandemic and the season being pushed back, the draft is freaking Friday. Freaky Friday, July 29th. Well, no, is it Thursday, July 20, whatever day. It's July 29th. That's too close. So they may hustle up and get a couple people scanned, maybe, but based off of what we have seen from 2K in the past, when there's ever been any sort of league stoppage or shakeup or anything like that, where there was a delay with the draft or what have you, they've never had the rookies scanned in from day one. I would be surprised if that happened this particular year. Now, what I believe that they should do is I believe that they should employ some of the fantastic modders out here in the world who are already creating dope faces for rookies, like Shujota and like Razor, who I believe is already still working with 2K. It has been for a while. Those are the people that should be tapping to do these faces. And then, of course, then you upgrade it to the face scan version when you get the opportunity. But for me, you already kind of know who's going to be drafted. If you knew this for probably 3 months, maybe if you had those guys, those independent contractors working on those faces, hopefully they did this. Hopefully somebody's going to show up and say, look here, Brian, we already did this. Shut up. Hopefully that's going to be it. I'll gladly shut up and I'll say that I was wrong. I hope I'm wrong, but I don't think that I am. I do not expect to see all rookies scanned in at launch. I think that that is going to be something that happens in the first or second update throughout, through probably October. So that's what I suspect. So that's all that I have for you in this particular video. I appreciate you watching as always. Don't forget to like this video. It means a lot to the channel.